Hi everyone, welcome to our Distroness lab. In this lab, let us understand about what Distroness is going to do and how it is very much useful when compared to the DistroFung. So as always, let me start with having my new terminal. The first thing I'm going to do is change my directory that is with the Distroness. So I have it in under the container security and then I have Decoding. Okay, so if you observe, we have the Dockerfile here. This is the Decoding one. Okay, now you can see something interesting. So before we build the image and understand about it, first let's try to decode the Docker file. So something you are seeing for the first time probably would be that you have two from. On this while we had just from and we used to use that as our base image. Now you can see we have two. This distroness by default does not have any underlying distro. So it's just a Python runtime. So in order to install our necessary requirements to our Python app here, so we install in the separate image format. That is, first we are going to copy the installed files into our distroness image. So this is what we call as a multi-stage build. So we can see we have the Python 2.7 slim version and we have named it as build environment, that is env. Okay, so from the current directory we can see we are copying our source code from the current working directory into our where app directory. That's what these two steps are doing, and then we are going to install and upgrade our pip and also the requirements.txt. So usually our Python by default is going to have all the requirements installed in packages, right? We know that. Now what we are going to do is we are going to copy the source code. Okay, if you observe in the line 8, we are going to copy the source code from our previously built image. Okay, because the first part of it would have already built image, and in the second part we are copying all the requirements that is needed, right? That is the packages, whatever we want, we are actually copying those things also from it. Now once our copying things are all done, we have our working directory as app. Okay, and last we are going to even set env python path, okay, as a environment variable we are using it, and finally we are going to run the app.py. So that's what this Docker file is doing. So having two from, so we are ideally copying all the installed files onto our distroness image. Okay, and this, as I told, is a multi-build stage. Okay, now enough of our Docker file. So next part what we are going to do is build our distroness Flask Docker. Okay, so to do that what I'm going to say is, as always, say docker build, and what is the thing that I'm building? The Docker image. So I'm going to name it as distroness Flask py. Once done, so this starts building the image. Okay, it might hardly take few minutes. So it says it has successfully installed, it's going to download all the requirements, and it's done. Now what we are going to do in the next part is we will also install, okay, the DistroFung image. Okay, so let me first change my directory because I've opened another terminal, and then I'm going to DistroFung. So just like how we get the distroness, we are going to build the DistroFung as well. So use the same command, docker build -t. Okay, let me name this as DistroFung. Okay, and this. Now let me start doing it. So it might take another minute or so, just like how we get the distroness. Okay, so it's also going layer by layer. So it's taking quite a little time than we saw in the distroness part. Okay, and it's now done. So now let me just clear this up. Okay, So let me even clear this terminal. So let me keep all the terminals closed and open a new one. Okay, now we have the two images done, that is we have built. Let us now check these images using Docker images. You can see that you have DistroFung and the DistroFung. Okay, one thing we can observe is that the size difference. If you can see, the DistroFung is around 450 MB and DistroFung is just 64.3 MB, right? This is a huge size difference. So this also ensures that the attack surface, the overall attack surface in the DistroFung Docker image is very much reduced, right? So now what we are going to do, this is one huge difference. The second thing what we are going to do is we will scan both the images, okay, for the vulnerability. Just like how we saw Trivy as a vulnerability tool assessment, we do have Clair. So we use Clair here. So the first thing we are going to do is let us start the Clair database. Okay, so I'm just starting my Clair database. So here the Clair DB is pulled from the Docker registry, okay, and it is going to start running. Okay, now once this is done, it will few seconds on the container is initialized, or even you can use a sleep command for 15 seconds. So just to give you a few minutes, to use the sleep command, you can just say sleep for 15 seconds. So it sleeps for the next 15 seconds. Okay, once this is done, we are going to start the Clair scanner. Okay, we are going to do that. And again, we are going to wait few seconds till the container is initialized. Okay, so I'm going to start the Clair scanner. So I'm just saying Docker run with so and so port. So whatever the link I want, the name and the image I want. Okay, so this takes few seconds. Now it's almost done. You can just give few minutes or seconds till the container is initialized. Once done, what we are going to do is we are going to run it against our DistroFung Flask image. Okay, and then we are going to run it against our DistroFung Flask image. Okay, that's what we are going to do here. The first thing, as I mentioned, first we are going to run it against our DistroFung Flask image. Okay, so I'm using the Clair scanner and say do it for the Flask DistroFung image, and then you can even provide me with the JSON format is what I'm telling it. Now once I hit on enter, you can see there is a start of the Clair scanner. So it is doing all the scan and no vulnerability at all. So you can see there is nothing. It just says analyzing layer by layer, one after the other, and you can see there is no vulnerability it has mentioned. However, let me now run Clair scan against the DistroFung image. Okay, now we have this. So ideally, whatever we have, the curl http checkip.amazon.aws.com, this is going to automatically take my server IP. That's what it is doing. So once I click or enter, okay, again the Clair scanner has started. Okay, now it takes little time. Okay, let us give few minutes for it to scan. You can now see it is analyzing layer by layer and it is done. Now you can see the DistroFung report.json. So as we can see here, we can see all the vulnerabilities when running the DistroFung image. Okay, all of these are the vulnerabilities, and we can even have it in the JSON format. Okay, it's going to list out all the vulnerabilities that it shows up. However, as we observed in case of the DistroFung, we did scan, it also had the same scan process layer by layer, but we did find nothing, and thereby there was no report that is written because of the no vulnerability part. So that's how we could see the thing between the DistroFung and the DistroFung images, and similar scan using the same tool, and we could see how the vulnerabilities pop up in our DistroFung, however not in our distro NES based images, and we can even observe the sizes of the images. So that's it for this nap. So it's a wrap. See you in the next one. Bye bye.